Welcome to Hosting a Read-Along 101. This is where you're going to learn all about hosting a successful read-along on your channel. Lesson 1, choose a popular series from 15 years ago.
But doesn't that mean it'll be all played out, that people will just be sort of over it?
No.
Okay.
Lesson 2, be sure to release a video explaining all of the details for your read-along, but wait until after you've read one book and have completed one live show.
But won't that mean that people won't know about your read-along until it's already started?
No.
I have a question.
Yes.
Should you start with the first book in the series?
No. Anyone can start with the first book in the series. You want to start with a book that was published much later, kind of obscure, one that nobody really has any interest in and didn't get much publicity.
I'm not sure this person has any idea what she's talking about. I know.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
Lesson 3, Discord. Discord is very helpful in building community, so be sure to put up a Discord for your community about midway through your read-along.
I think we're just gonna go. We must have signed up for the wrong class.
No, but wait, you're gonna miss my next lesson all about being confused about your slideshow during the live show.
Hi, my name's B. Welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, and show everybody what a stellar read-along host I am. Sorry. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am so excited about this month. It has so much fun in store and I can't wait to share everything with you. Let's start with what's coming out soon. I have the ARC, or Advanced Reader's Copy, for Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, which is coming out in April. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to be reading it in March. I couldn't be more excited, except for the fact that everyone is talking about how emotional it is. Really emotional. And I tend to avoid reads like that, but I've got to read Abby Jimenez. I'm totally obsessed with this author. I've loved rereading her stuff. In fact, the only book I need to reread before I get to Just for the Summer is yours truly, which came out in 2023. Can't wait to listen to it this time. It's got Zachary Weber, who's like one of my favorite narrators of all time. Then I will be physically reading the ARC on my Kindle, and I can't wait to report back to you about how amazing it hopefully is, but also I'm sure I'm going to need some tissues. Oh boy. Stay tuned for more on this next one. I'm hoping to get the ARC for the rule book, which is an unofficial book 2 of a series following the cheat sheet, which I absolutely fell in love with last year. So fingers crossed that I get the ARC. I've been waiting and they have not said anything yet. So if they say yes, I'm going to read it and I cannot wait. I love S.E. Wendell so much. Her fantasy romances are everything. We have heroes and heroines who have such good hearts, and the slow burn build up to the spicy romance is just mwah. I love it so much. I love the road trip aspect. I love the cozy way that S.E. Wendell describes the settings of these medieval type period fantasies set in other realms. And I absolutely cannot wait to read Stone Hearts, which is the first book in the War of the Underhill. It leads up to the second book in the series, Heart Song, which is being published at the end of this month, March 29th. So of course, April is going to be devoted to that book. I can't wait. In fact, I'm so excited about this author that I actually asked her if I could interview her on my channel, and she graciously said yes. So in the month of March, we're going to be able to talk all things S.E. Wendell books. I cannot wait. More on that coming soon. Keep your eyes peeled. So here's the exciting thing. I don't have a million ARCs to read this month, unlike every other month. So it gives me time to actually read things that are on my Kindle Unlimited shelves that I haven't gotten around to that I'm dying to do. One I definitely want to read, and I'm going to make time for, is Finding Gene Kelly. This came out, I think, in 2022. And I know that the heroine is looking for love. I want to say in Paris. She's dealing with endometriosis. The only other thing I know, because I like to go into this blind sometimes, is that Crystal of Crystal's Bookish Life named this as like one of her top books. That's really all I need to know. It's been on my Kindle Unlimited shelf forever. So I'm finally giving myself time to read some of these books that I've been wanting to read that I never get a chance to because I'm always reading ARCs. And this is where you come in, my friends. I need you to help pick for me the other thing that I'm going to be reading from my Kindle Unlimited shelves this month. And maybe you want to read it along with me. No matter what, you're about to hear really rapid fire 6 titles that are on Kindle Unlimited that I've heard fabulous things about that I've been dying to read. The first one that I might pick is called In Her Own Right by Rowan Wilder. I love the end of this. In Her Own Right is a steamy friends to lovers wolf shifter romance about uncovering your inner strength and finally letting yourself be loved, featuring ancestral magic, fast-paced action sequences, and lots of pining. This is part of the Salt Islands Wolfpack series, but written to be read as a standalone. It sounds incredible. Both of them are about to commit their rite of passage. They've been friends forever. He's been pining for her forever, and we'll see how their friendship changes as they become full-grown wolf shifters. This looks fascinating. Then from spicy to sweet, another one I'm dying to read is Wish You Weren't Here, which is Carousel Cove Book 1 by Gracie Ruth Mitchell. This is about a woman who accidentally frees a genie from a British teapot. It looks so cute. He is going to disappear forever unless he can be human. So she gives him how to be human lessons. And part of that is fake dating because apparently the wish that she made with him has gone all wrong. So as you can imagine, as she fake dates him and tries to teach him to be human so that he can become human and not disappear forever, they develop feelings that are far more than friendship. So it looks really inventive and lots of fun. I really enjoyed The Cock Down the Block, despite the fact that it was often crude, and also the guys in these books are extremely amorous, like all the time. But I still found myself enjoying the book, and I love representation of worshiping a plus-size gal. I think that's just beautiful. So the second book in the series is another one that's on my Kindle Unlimited shelf. It's The Wiener Across the Way. It promises fun, worshiping of a plus-size gal, football antics, lots of spice, and probably going to be crude in parts, but it is quite funny and I love the representation. So Forged by Magic by Jenna Wolfhart wound up on my Kindle Unlimited shelf because they recommended it to me after knowing that I enjoyed Halfling by S.E. Wendell. This one is supposed to be kind of a cozy, feel-good fantasy romance. There's a helping of spice and a dash of danger. We have Dela. She is half orc, one of the last ones around, and she has been kept in captivity by an emperor who offers her a deal. He's willing to let her go free if she can capture some of the wielders of dragon magic on the Isle of Fable. However, a storm leaves her washed up on a different island and she meets Rivelin, an elven blacksmith. The two of them start off as enemies, quickly become friends, and then something more as she uncovers some of his secrets and then has to decide what is more important, love or freedom. I've also had Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer on my Kindle Unlimited shelf for a while. This is part of the Vancouver Storm series. I'll just read you the tropes because I think it gives you a good idea of what this is. Grumpy sunshine, slow burn, boy obsessed, pro hockey, forced proximity, boss versus assistant, plus roommates, spice coaching. I do love a good lesson in love novel. And I haven't mentioned any historical romances yet. Here's one that's been on my Kindle Unlimited shelf. I've heard good things. How to Love a Dangerous Rogue by Scarlett Scott. This is book 1 of the Royals and Renegades series. In the summary, it says heat level, scorching hot. Don't say you haven't been warned. Of course, that makes me want to read it now. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm so intrigued. There's a war that's about to start, and we have a king who cannot stop obsessing over the lady in waiting to the princess that is supposed to marry this king. Interestingly, too, this particular lady in waiting has been caught up in the plans for a revolution. So help me pick which one. In Her Own Right, Wish You Weren't Here, The Wiener Across the Way, Forged by Magic, Behind the Net, or How to Love a Dangerous Rogue. Please and thank you. Speaking of hockey romance, Angie, a good friend of mine, and I are going to be buddy reading a book called Let's Do This by Lauren Lee. It's part of IFU Hockey Series #1, so it's the first in a series. We both recommended it to each other without realizing we were both really excited about it. And then we said, well, let's just buddy read it. I'm really excited to buddy read with Angie. She is an up-and-coming booktuber who I can't recommend highly enough. She and I have had so many beautiful conversations, and I love the fact that she comes at booktube and romance from such a fresh perspective. She actually is blind and she has cerebral palsy, and she is killing it as someone who's just starting in the booktube world. I will leave her linked in the description box. Be sure to check her out, give her some love. She's tremendous and I can't wait to buddy read this with her. Let's Do This is a steamy, low angst, friends to lovers, college hockey romance with double first times, a flirty goalie, a gruff defenseman willing to risk it all for a chance with his best friend. It looks really cute. And speaking of buddy reads, I'm going to be buddy reading New Moon this month with all of my friends that are still interested in this series. I'm reading it. I'm going to listen to the soundtrack again. I'm going to watch the movie again. I cannot wait. And of course, I will be joined by Julie of The Hungry Bookworm. This is our brainchild, this whole read along. And we're hoping against hope that Joanna of XO Joe will be able to join us, but we shall see. We'll be doing the live show on Saturday, March 23rd at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In fall, I read Beauty in Autumn. In winter, I read Beauty in Winter. So guess what I'm reading in spring? Beauty in Spring. You guessed it. You're so smart. This 4-book series, each set in its own season, each by a different queen of monster romance. This has been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to read this one by Katie Wilde. This one looks really intense, actually. These are all, by the way, Beauty and the Beast retellings. I should have led with that, right? I know we're all excited about those. In this case, we have friends to maybe lovers in the end. They had wonderful friendships until his beast became unleashed. As she heads back to meet with him, she becomes sort of chained to him, and his choices are either to force her sort of to marry him or to die in order to keep this beast from getting to her. He's got to make a choice, and he wants to be selfless. I don't really get a sense of how she's feeling about it, but I'm sure in this novella we're going to find out. Keeping those spring vibes going, I'm going to be reading The Spring Bride by Anne Gracie, which is book 3 of the Chance Sisters series. I read The Winter Bride in winter, and it was lovely. I had a great time with it, and I cannot wait to fall in love with The Spring Bride and see what happens with one of our other gals as she finds love. There's the book. I forgot to pop it up there. It's fun if I actually have a book to show it off, right? I love the first sentence in this summary. A dog in need of rescue brings together a young debutante and a mysterious stranger in this Regency charmer. Oh, it's gonna be great. I've been having the best time reading Julia Quinn's The Rokesby series, which is the prequel series to Bridgerton. I've never experienced any of them, the show, the books, but this is my Bridgerton year. And for month 3 of 2024, I'm reading book 3 of the Rokesby series, The Other Miss Bridgerton. I couldn't be more excited about this one because it features Andrew, who I'm so crushing on after he was featured in the very first book because of Miss Bridgerton. He is hilarious and adorable. He just seems like a blast, and I cannot wait to see him featured in his own story. Speaking again about historical romance, some of you may have been concerned that I had forgotten about my goal to read all of Elizabeth Hoyt's Maiden Lane series, and I've been reading so much hockey romance lately that I've had to sort of push Maiden Lane to the side. But it's coming back out again. I'm going to be reading Book 6, Duke of Midnight, and Book 7, Darling Beast. I can't wait, and once I finally get enough of these read, I'm going to be caught up with Carrie of Booked for Romance, and I just adore her. I cannot wait to buddy read at least one of these. I don't know, Carrie, how many do you want to do? You know what I haven't mentioned yet? Alien romance. What better time than now to tell you that I am reading the next book in the Ruby Dixon flowchart of fun series, Callie's Catastrophe, which is book 9 of the Ice Home series. Looking forward to heading back to Not Hoth or the Ice Planet to see what these characters have gotten up to next. I've really been enjoying reading all of Elle Kennedy's off-campus series, and when I realized that The Graham Effect, which was just published quite recently, is actually a next generation novel about the daughter of Garrett and Hannah, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm finishing this series actually today with The Legacy. In March, I'm really excited to read The Graham Effect and see what the daughter of these two has in store. It's going to be so fun. It is a hockey romance. I'm just getting the rest of those out of my system before we head into spring. I know you can read hockey romance any time of year, but for me, I always prefer to do it in the winter. It's just more fun. I don't know. Okay, here's the last thing. I have room on my schedule for one more contemporary romance. And if you're still here, I want you to help me pick which one I end up with. Are we gonna go with The Nanny, the spicy, forced proximity, single dad book that a lot of people have said was incredible? Or When in Rome, book 1 of the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams? Or Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly? This is a queer romance. I adored the latest book by Anita Kelly, How You Get the Girl, and so I'm curious to read this entire series. The ensemble cast was so lovely, and I was just really excited to try it. Or this one, you're going to be shocked. As much as I say that I've never read a Why Choose and don't really have any interest in it. I actually just grabbed one from Audible the other day. It's called Puck Yes, My Hockey Romance Book 2. It's about a woman who gets married but also has like a secret boyfriend. And the reason I couldn't say no is because it had Teddy Hamilton and Jacob Morgan, who is Zachary Weber. I love both of those narrators so much. And I thought if I were ever to do a wide choose romance, this would have to be it because I just love both of them. But I don't really know if it'll be for me. Again, like why choose? I don't know. But I do have it now in my library. So if you're curious to see what that might be like, there you have it. I don't know. If you could cast your vote, I would really appreciate it. I'm sorry to ask so much of you in this video, but I've never had this much free time in a month, so I really appreciate your input to know what you guys would find valuable. Thank you again for your patience and your vote. I'm going to be putting polls up on YouTube and I think on Instagram. If you don't feel like doing it now, you'll have a chance later this week. Okay, so those were my books. What are you excited about in the month of March? What are you looking forward to reading or doing, whatever? Just share whatever you want to share. I know we'd all love to read it. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoy whatever you're reading, regardless of what month it is. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.